I got something to show y'all. This is Daisy. If you've not met Daisy before, Daisy is a 9-month-old yellow lab, 8 months, a little over 8 months. And she is Log Home Dad's pride and joy. Pride and joy. She's hungry right now. So she's so sweet. She's got angel wings on her back. So if you, the 2 white spots that go down on their shoulders are angel wings. So Log Home Dad will say, my angel. So sweet. Can't see them on here. They're down here. Just right past her leg. Come on over to YouTube. That's where I'm going to be live. I'm just going to be on here for a second just to get y'all's attention. Hey, Linda. Well, thank you, ma'am. I took a shower. No, we're going out hopefully when Log Home Dad gets home. So I had to get all prettified. Had to dry my hair a little bit ago too, so that helps. All right, y'all, come on over to YouTube. There's only one person over there. Click the link. I have it in the caption. I'm gonna put it in the comments too. So there's the link, and I'm gonna pin it. Come on over to the YouTube, click the YouTube. You don't have to have an account or anything. Yeah, I had to shower. Today I'm actually feeling way better. I'm still in a lot of pain from where I've cracked my rib, but I'm feeling so much better because it has been a hard week or so. And she's so dang strong. Listen, we have to make her get in her kennel at night because she wants to jump up on the bed. Oh, yeah, I'll talk about that. Come on over to YouTube, Terry, because I'm going to turn this off. So y'all come on over. Just click the link. I see some of y'all coming in. Say, hey. Some of y'all are going to have to tell me who you are because I know your name on Facebook, but then I don't know y'all's name on YouTube. So a lot of times it's different on YouTube. So I know Linda, hers is the same. All right, guys, I'm going on over to YouTube. Come on, I got something to show ya. Bye, y'all. All right. Hey, y'all. Woohoo. I figure this is the best way y'all get notification there. So make sure, if you haven't already, that you subscribe. So there should be under the videos, should have a subscribe, unless you got me on full screen. Should be a subscribe, and then there's a bell. We'll click the bell and kind of hold it for a second, and a pop-up will come on, and it'll say no notifications, top, I think, and then all notifications. So make sure you do all notifications, and it'll tell you when I go live, and it'll tell you when I've posted a video. So yay. And then y'all know, like I've explained to you why I'm going live over here. I got to get 4,000 viewing hours over at YouTube. So even if you want to go back and watch some of my videos, I've got like 400 and something videos of all different kinds of stuff that we've done. I used to upload my chicken videos onto YouTube, but I was getting like 1 or 2 views. So I kind of stopped doing that. And now I got to get everything over to YouTube. YouTube, you could monetize, but I have to get 4,000 viewing hours first. But I have something to show y'all today. So I thought y'all would be really interested in this. And so this is my big experiment. I've always tried to grow avocado seeds and they've never taken. You know, you do the toothpicks, you put them in the water, and it's like nothing ever really happens. Or you might get a little sprout and then it's gone and whatever. So I tried a new method, and I've done it not just with my avocado seeds, but with my mango seeds. So I had a bunch of mangoes. I made some pineapple mango salsa. Our neighbor was having an event, and something, that light is shining right on me. Our neighbor was having an event, some mango pineapple salsa with my fresh pineapples. And then, of course, we love avocado. I make guacamole. I like to slice it and put it on a BLT. Of course, in salad. I like it plain. I'll tell you what, I know you probably see all the yuppies doing a toast with avocado on it and maybe an egg on top. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And avocados are really good for you too. So let me show you what I've been up to. So what you want to do, first of all, let's do mango first. So a mango seed, when you get inside, it's all fuzzy. That mango seed's kind of got these little fuzzy things. Well, that's not the seed. That's just the hull for the seed. And one end of it, you'll see an opening. And you can either take some shears and cut it a little more to make the opening bigger. Or if you take like a case knife, don't do a sharp knife. Take like a case knife and just kind of pry it back and forth, you'll open that up and inside will be the mango seed. And if you just soak it for a little minute and then take the outside hull off, there's like not a hull, but like a skin. And so you want to take that off. And it doesn't take long, but now mango, all the skin's not going to come off. I can tell you that right now. It's really tough to get it all off. You might take a knife or something. And so the one thing you got to look out for on your mango is make sure that mold doesn't grow, because now that skin has something in it. When it connects with water, it's going to grow mold, just like our houses. That's why we get mold in our houses. You have to have a water source and then something for it to cling to. So just wash it off if it does, and take a knife and like scrape it off. I mean, it's fine. So what I did, these handy dandy little restaurant to go containers we get. So this is what I did. I actually put my mango and my avocado in the same container. You want to get a wet paper towel, not like, you don't want like a ton of water down in there, but it has to be a wet paper towel. Put it in there and cover it up. And then I took this and sat it in my pantry, because it's dark in there. It's, temperature and dark. Finally caught you live. Yay! And so I set it in there and just kind of left it. Now I did 3 avocado seeds first. So I've already got them in water, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But these all I did at the same time. So the mango and the other avocado I did at the same time. So this is what you're going to end up with. Now, let's see. Let's do this one. All right. So here's one of my, see, this is the roots. Now over here is starting to grow the tree. Do you see it? Right there. What's going to happen is I'm going to just put this in dirt as soon as my tree comes up a little bit. It's just probably another couple days. This will probably take about 2 weeks, by the way. So another couple of days. So there's my roots. Oh, isn't that cool? There's my roots. And there's my tree starting to come out a little bit right there. And so it'll get a little bigger. When it does, then I'm going to put this down in the dirt in a pot and get ready for it. So I'm going to see what it does. So I've got 4 of them. So I've got more here. See here? And then right here, my tree is trying to come out over here. And on this one, my tree has not started to come out yet. These other ones, my tree is not, but I have roots and everything. So, all right. So I've got actually 5 mango. I thought I had 4. I've got 5 in here. So look at that. Isn't that super cool? Super cool. Okay. So then, and basically the same, except that avocado does not have a hull around it. It's just the seed. So you take that seed and soak it in water for just a little bit. And that one peels off a lot easier. So the outer peeling, because that just makes it want to germinate faster. So you're going to do the exact same thing though. You're going to put it in a paper towel, damp paper towel, not soppy. You don't want to be able to wring it out and get a lot of water, but you do want to watch it. So watch it every 4 days or so. And just make sure, and if you have to, put your new paper towel in there and cover it back up again. So then what's going to happen is your avocado seeds are going to start doing this. That's the root. Look here. That's the root. See how it broke it up? I didn't do that. So your root's going to grow out of one side, and then your tree is going to grow out of the other. So I've got 3 in here. This one the root hasn't popped through on this one yet, but it's starting to crack, so it's going to. All right, so I've got these in here. Now, on the avocado, this is what you do. So if you don't have a vase that kind of has a top on it, because I've got a couple of them, because I've had bulb. You know how you get the bulbs and you got the flowers and stuff in the clear vase? Ladies would know. I have a couple of those. So with these other ones, though, what I'm going to do is take a regular vase, take a plastic bag, and break a hole in the bottom for the roots to go through, and then put that plastic bag top over the vase. And then put it in the water. Now, those roots have to stay covered in water all the time. And what I did with these, so my roots didn't slide through, is I did the toothpick method. As you can see here. You definitely want to make sure those roots are covered, and you're going to want to change this water out. You don't want the water to get icky or moldy or anything. So see how I've got, now look at those little roots. Oh, look at that, look at that. And what's going to happen is a tree is going to emerge from the top. You want that tree to get about 18 inches before you plant it. And when you plant it, you don't plant the whole seed down in there, only about halfway. Because now you're going to have a lot of roots. You're going to have a ton of roots coming down through here. And so you're going to want to, about like it is in here, you're going to want to make sure that is sticking up above the ground a little bit. So you don't want to plant these until you have a tree, but you can go ahead and plant the mangoes in the dirt. See here? It's so neat every day watching them and see what I've got going on. So I imagine my tree will probably be springing through on here anytime. I'm kind of excited about that. Let me look on my phone and see if I can see it. Oh, I see it. I see it down in there. I don't know if y'all can see it. Hang on. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Okay. Ooh, now I'm dripping. Can you see the tree right there? Oh, that's the tree coming in. Isn't that exciting? I'm so happy. And then I've got another one over here too. And this one has a little bit longer roots. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's too exciting. Let's see if I've got a tree coming through in there. I see the start of it. That one's definitely. And then this one, not quite yet with that, but it will, you don't have to do anything to the seed. It will burst through on its own. Let's see if we can do it again. Oh my gosh, there it is. See it, see it, see it right there, right there, right there. So I'm gonna have my little tree, but you wanna make sure those roots stay underwater and you wanna change this water out every little bit. How fun is that? So now my other ones, I've got 3 more, and I'm going to do them with the plastic bag method in the vase because I don't have any more little vases that have these little tops like this on them because you wanted like a skinny top. And even with that, they would fall through. So that's why I ended up doing the toothpicks. And see how I angled the toothpicks? They're not straight across because I want those roots to be able to get down in the water. So I had to angle them down a little bit so it kind of sits down in there like that. What do y'all think? Has anybody grown them before? Have y'all grown Julie? Have you done avocado or mangoes before? I'm super excited about it. So now I went out to the chickens a little bit ago and I fed them and cleaned up their litter box and brought in their eggs and everything. And it's just a mess outside. It is such a mess. I mean, just every step you take is crunch. It's moss and limbs and goodness gracious, everything, leaves, everything. It's just an absolute mess. And of course, the grass is, all that rain, the grass has grown taller. It looks like fun. I've not ever, you got to do it. It's so fun. It's going to be a little science experiment. And it's going to be super fun. I'm so excited. But it's just an absolute mess. I don't even know. It's like overwhelming. I have my front bed out. If y'all have ever watched my lives, when you come from the chicken coop, it's right in front of my house. And I've got all kinds of stuff in there. I've got a ton of butterfly bushes because we're a monarch stopping place. So we have a ton of monarchs. They'll be showing up anytime. And it's just that. Now that's a whole nother thing. I'll have to do a live on that. I love getting their little cocoons on they lay them on the Nairobi, or they put them on the Nairobi grass a lot. And I love doing those and letting them, you can tell when they're fixing those spring open. That's so much fun. I'll have to do a live with that. But I cleaned out that bed a little bit because it just had sticks and moss and it was a mess. And then my little fountain where the rain had beat down on it was kind of moldy. So I got smell like bleach now. I got some bleach in there and a little toothbrush and cleaning that. So I did that this afternoon. And I raked up a little bit around the chicken coop because there was a lot going in the coop and it's just broken little stuff everywhere. It's just a mess. I can't even get over it. It's a little overwhelming. So I'm trying to focus on one little area that I can do. I can't do what Log Home Dad can do. And he'll come along with his big old blower and he'll blow it all away anyway. But I'm trying to do in the grass and stuff. So I've tried and failed with avocados. So I have too. I've done it this method with just the toothpicks and put it in like that. It's never worked. Never. And so this one, I am like, this was a whole new experience for me. And I said, I'm going to do it. And I did. And I'm super proud of myself because they're alive. And I cannot wait to plant them. I can't wait to have little trees. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait for it. So this is going to be neat. But I got to find other vases now to put the other ones in. But I get to plant the mango. And I'll tell you what, I'm super impressed with them. One of them has super root. Well, a couple of them have just a super root system. Look at this. Look at these roots. Isn't that amazing? Just putting them in the little container. You could put these in a gallon bag, by the way, too. You could do that. But there was more room to put them in here. So I just put them in here in this little container. And everybody should have these containers at home. They give them to us when we go to a restaurant. So they're perfect for it. That was perfect. That fit 5 mango and 3 avocado seeds. Before that, I had those avocado seeds and took them out. So that is just a fun, like those would be fun with your grandbabies or your kids. Those would be a really neat thing to do with them. But I got out there, I got a lot of stuff cleared. I cleared out in front of the chicken coop a little bit. I've got little piles. Log Home Dad hates me because when I do yard work, I do little piles at a time because I figure I can take those little piles and get them up easier than doing a big old pile and trying to get it up. It's just easier on me. So I've got these little piles. We cleaned out our cabin pool. I think Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. We cleaned out the cabin pool. It was just full of leaves. I can't believe actually that it didn't turn greener. And I mean, it was because it had a ton of leaves in it. So we got it all cleaned up, got some chlorine in there, and it looks great. And so, and Log Home's dad's deck withheld the walls, everything. He was so happy. Like I told you, it fell on the fire pit and on his lights. So he's been working 12 or 14, 16 hours a day. He's not even home now. He's already been gone 12 hours and he's just been working really hard. And he probably won't even be, I hope he's going to be in because we got somewhere to go. He better get here. He better get on over. But he's been working so hard though with other people's places. All the people have all this stuff going on and it's funny, people will call, some of our clients will call us and he feels so bad, but he's like, look, I'm like out of equipment and I can come out, but then I'm not going to be able to dry it, or I can, do whatever. And I'm not going to be able to dry it. And that's the big thing is the equipment. Then once the equipment's done, or some people, they haven't, like we have one lady who a lake, went up and it intruded on her home. So it literally flooded. She had her one room was like 3 inches in water, and Danny or Log Home Dad went over there and he was like, look, until this goes down, you don't want me doing anything. I mean, the lake is going to have to go down first. So she's supposed to call us as soon as the lake goes down. And so we've had that. And then we had one instance of plaster walls, which is a whole special dry, which he can do it, but it's a big detailed thing. And he's like, I just don't have time. I'll be coming out at midnight. And of course, a lot of people are like, that's fine. But it's like, no, it's not fine. That's, you got to sleep sometime. He went out the other night, or he was out the other night until I think around 10 or so. And he was at the lady's house, and I guess she felt bad, and she had DoorDash come, and she gave him one of the meals. She's like, take this, eat this on your way home. And she felt really bad that he was there so late. So our clients are really nice. And Danny has such a way, if you've ever met him, he's so, he's amazing at what he does. I've never met anyone. He just amazes me when I go out with him and work. She wants her food. It's din time. And he just has such a way of calming people down and stuff, because it's a very stressful when your house is flooded. I know we stayed flooded for 5 days 3 years ago with Irma, and it's a very stressful situation to go through. And they're just so appreciative because he just has a way of calming them down and assure them that it's going to be okay and everything's going to get taken care of. And it's hard though, because when we had 3 hurricanes come through about almost 20 years ago. And when that happened, insurance companies, people had damages from all 3, and the insurance companies was trying to get them to be like 3 claims. And I think it was the governor that says, oh no, you ain't going to do that. These are 3 concurring. This is going to be 1 claim. Well, back then you only had to pay your deductible. So if it's $500, $1,000, $250, whatever it was. Well, after that, then the insurance companies lobbied the state and said, it's going to be 10% now. And they passed it. So it's, or 2%, I'm sorry, 2% of your home value. So if your home's worth, $500,000, you would be paying $10,000 deductible. So a lot of people are like, is it even worth it? Because then you make a claim and then you get canceled. So it's like a lot of people are so worried about even using their insurance. And it's like, goodness gracious, we're paying all this money and nothing. Like, come on now. So it gets hard and it's stressful because I mean, who has $10,000? Who has $5,000? Or $2,000? I mean, and this time that would be really super hard on people. With everything else we're having to pay on, and fixing a lot of people are fixing to have to fill up their gas tanks. And I hear for winter, and I hear the gas is going to be about $5 a gallon, and if you've got a $200-gallon tank or a 500-gallon tank, I mean, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what they're going to go through. It's going to be awful. Yeah, like right now, Janine, no. I mean, we are like going through our savings like crazy, and thank goodness we had it. I've been saving for the last like 3 years with my Cincy. I've been taking and just putting my paycheck in the savings account. Well, now with our business, it's been so slow, and people, we do a job and then have to wait for money because of insurance or whatever. We honestly, and I've told everybody this, real honest about it, we ain't had a paycheck in 9 months. So I'm having to rely, my Cincy's not going in the savings anymore. And then we're having to pull money. Half of our savings is gone. So I can't imagine having to come up with $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is, that they want you to come up with for a deductible, and then them canceling you. And when you get canceled, a lot of times there's a mark on you, and you're like a high risk or something. So even if you get another policy, there's something about it. And it just breaks my heart. And like, they'll do things like they did us this year. They upped our insurance to $14,493, our homeowners. And I guess what they're trying to do is price you out so they can get out of the state of Florida. They don't want, and I'm like, if you're going to be an insurance company, because insurance companies are insured too, they have huge blanket insurance policies against them. But if you're wanting out of the state of Florida because we have hurricanes or whatever, why should you be able to pick and choose what state you go to? You get to go pick a low risk state. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what the heck? Like, why do you get to do that? Why do you to me, if you're going to service one state, you got to service all of them. Like, that should be like a thing. And it's not. So even auto and stuff like that, it's not a thing. None of it. And so it's hard. And then being a small business owner, let me tell you what, just like general liability, workman's comp, I mean, all this stuff, it is insane what we've went up to in all these processes. It's just been the saddest thing ever, because they're trying to push out small business owners. I know that's what they're doing. And a lot of them don't even want to insure you if you have under so many employees, under 10 employees. Or same thing, they will price you so high that the chances are, if you've taken it, is nothing. We used to have auto owners for everything. We have it for our vehicles. We've been with them for, I bet, 30 years. And we had them with our general liability and all that. And we've never had a claim. And so I think about 3 years ago, they're like, we're not going to cover anymore. We don't want to cover smaller businesses. And I'm like, we've never had a claim. And they made an exception for 1 year. They gave us 1 more year, but then after that, we were done. And it's like, I just don't get that. To me, I would almost think small businesses would be your least risky people to have claims, because we're really careful on employees we hire, and we're very particular on the job we do. So, employees we do hire, they better be doing a good job, or they ain't going to have a job with us anymore. So to me, I think more care is taken with a small business than it is with a bigger business typically. And I don't know, because we've sat in classes with some of these guys that belong to big franchises for like water damage and carpet cleaning. And it's, never hire them. Some of them are really great, but for the most part, it's like, oh gosh, I wouldn't hire them. But I would think that we would be a less risk. And same with health insurance. You can't get, if like as a company, I wouldn't be able to get insurance as a company. We'd have to get individual policies because we don't have enough employees. They don't want to. And so why don't the insurance companies inside of themselves take all the small businesses and put them in like a pot? like to where they're like a big business almost, and give them that rate. All the small businesses get to go in this little pot, like, if it was Macy's or Target or something like that, but it's all small businesses. And then you insure them that way. Like we're like this community or something. I don't know. To me, we're less risk than a big business. Because a lot of people will get a job somewhere just so they can have the insurance. And, I don't know. I don't do it, so I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see how this is all taken care of. I do know that Governor DeSantis did a press conference, and he told the insurance companies, I want these things settled swiftly because these people have got to rebuild or buy somewhere else or something. West Palm Beach, the small community of Fort Myers Beach. Oh my gosh, it's almost all gone. Where we stayed on Pine Island, devastation. Matt Lachey, which is a small little community I was telling you all about, there, I bet 95% wiped out. And then the bridge, of course, was wiped out. The little community then, there's Pine Island, and on the same island on this end is St. James. And they said 70% of the homes were destroyed there. And a lot of people stayed there and wrote it out. If you saw any of the rescues on TV, he did a really good press conference. If you saw any of the rescues on TV, I mean, some of them, it was just so sad. I mean, a lot of them were elderly people that, where are they going to go? Like, where are they going to go? And they set you up in a shelter in a high school. You got to bring everything with you and stuff. I mean, that's just not feasible for a lot of people. So I think Log Home Dad and I would be those type of people that would write it out. I mean, I have people on Log Home Mom saying, why didn't you evacuate? You should have evacuated. Well, first of all, listen. I'm not leaving my home. We've got a safe space downstairs. Because we got the basement, and we're very fortunate. I mean, the basement, of course, could flood, but it's not going to flood, to drown us. We got the basement. We have a shop. We have the garage. I have a lot of places we can go in our home. We have a huge closet in one of the bedrooms that has no windows. And that's underneath this level. And we have our property, we have our animals, and then we have our business that we have to do. And I mean, Log Home Dad was literally out at 8 the next morning, and the hurricane was still coming through. It wasn't as strong as it was at 2 or 3 in the morning, but it was still coming through. It was still raining. It was still a mess. And he was out helping other people. I said, Lord, I'm like, put a blanket of protection around him, because it's still awful outside. And, he made it because he had to go drop off some equipment. It had a hospital. The first floor was all flooded. And so we had to go drop off equipment. Sorry, that's my green tea. That was Log Home Dad bought me a case of green tea. I don't drink. I love sparkling water. Oh, I love sparkling water, but I don't drink sodas typically. I will drink a soda. He got him some sodas. He got me green tea. But then, we got our business, we've got our property, and and people are looting. I don't want anybody coming down here and looting our stuff. Like, I don't want to come back to another disaster. And then not knowing what your house looks like when you get back. Like, what the heck? I'd rather be here and start. So, there was no way we could leave. So I'm like, why are you getting so mad? It's not you. Was it matter if we left or not? And we're not at the coast either, which is another big factor in it. I mean, so y'all, we stayed at the KOA on Pine Island, and it's huge. Like, it's got a ton of spots, but when we were there a couple weeks ago, it's a down season, and it's been almost a month ago that we first got there. And so it's like the off season. So but they're in that KOA, there's got to be 20 or 30 units, and some of them are RVs and some of them are like park models, like a smaller, they almost look like a mobile home, but they're still a travel trailer, but they're a park model. They're meant to sit. It's what the FEMA trailers kind of look like and stuff. So there's got to be about 20 or 30 of those there. I pulled up NOAA puts up a aerial view, and they refresh it every 30 minutes. And so they had an aerial view of Matlacha and Pine Island and Fort Myers Beach, all that. And I zoomed in over the KOA, and oh my goodness, the campers were like thrown. You could see them out in the road. You could see pieces everywhere. One person said that one of the residents there has 2 kids, husband, wife, 2 kids, and he had 2 boats and then his camper, and all of it was destroyed. And he's goes out and he's a fisherman, and so like his business is destroyed, his livelihood is destroyed, and it was very sad to see all that. And if you give stuff for the relief, make sure you vet whoever you're giving it to. If you're giving money, we always like to give physical stuff. So like water, whatever, clothes, I don't care, backpacks. I like to give physical stuff because you give money and you don't know if that money is going to actually reach the residents or whoever. Like Lockham Dad went to Haiti when the earthquakes happened. He went probably a week or 2 after the earthquakes, and we do some stuff with one missionary called CORE, Kore, and they are amazing. They build sustainable chicken coops for residents and let them start a business. It's like super cool. And they have to pay it back. It's like a $2,000 loan they're giving them, and they've got 2 or 3 years to pay it back. And then they take that money and put it into another coop and another coop. And they make them do that because their whole mission is a way out, not a handout. So when they got there, our whole church had donations and money and put it in one of the big shipping pods. And it got there before they did. And so when they get there, they go to the port to get it released. They have a truck that's going to pick it up and take it to the core community so they can distribute everything. And then all the men's, because us women didn't go, it can be really dangerous. All the men's stuff is in there too. So all their food, all their water, everything is in there. So they had a special section for all the missionaries' stuff too. And when they get to the port, and they had already paid all the port fees, they paid the shipping fees, everything. The church paid all that. And when they get there, they had asked them for like $4,000 to release it. And they're like, we don't have $4,000. And so they would not release it to them. Well, I guess CORE negotiated and got it down, but it's so corrupt, And so when I see all these effort reliefs and all this money going to countries and stuff, it's like, you guys know that this money is not going to the people. And it's so sad. It is so sad. But I guess people feel better if they give some money or something. But I would rather give something tangible and know that some of the things we did for the church was it was a system to clean their water, because the water is really bad. Daisy wants to be the star. And so that was really cool. So each system was like $120. So, if people bought 2 or 3 systems or 5 bags of rice or, something, because their food there is just not, they literally the orphanages get 3 proteins a week. It's really super sad. It's very bad conditions, and all those millions of dollars that was donated for the earthquakes, I know the people didn't get anything. So it is just so sad. Yeah, he's something else. That man goes out. He's went, I did not go to Haiti because it was not safe for women. He's went to Haiti twice. And then he went with me and our youngest daughter to Guatemala and built a chicken coop in Guatemala. He told because that's our missionary friends there. They are absolutely amazing. And they heard about what Log Home Dad did. He talked to him about it, and they're like, you're going to do that when you get here. What do you need? And they had all the stuff waiting for him. And then when he got there, he built a chicken coop. Him and I think 2 other guys built a chicken coop for the pastor at one of the small communities so that he could start a business. And he was the only home up in there that had, she likes it when I kissed her on the nose. She's the only home, he was the only home up in there that had electricity, because they had to run a solar light for the heater for the chicken coop. So it was kind of cool. And then the the pastor actually just got a second home. And when I say a second home, the first home, if you've ever been on a mission trip in the villages, the home usually is where the kitchen is, where the livestock live, and their beds and everything. And it couldn't have been, goodness gracious, not much bigger than my little landing right here. And they got their second home and they had their beds in there. And it was, so now they're separated. But in the corner was this piece of steel, and that was the kitchen. And the wife was making tortillas. And when the men got to, I mean, they worked hard all day, and she brought them out a plate of tortillas. And their thing there is black refried beans. And so brought them some black refried beans. And Lacombe Dad's like, that is the best meal I've ever had. Because we left, the women need to get out of the village before dark in Guatemala too. And so we had already left. And so we left the men to finish up, and they had to hike out with headlamps and stuff. So it was really sweet. He loved that trip. He thought that was amazing. And Haiti's a beautiful country. Waterfalls and, the beautiful blue water. It's just so not safe, and it's not sanitary, especially in the bigger cities and stuff, because they just take their waste and dump it in the streets. And like there's this drain, a sewer drain, and they take like 5-gallon buckets down and dump it in the streets and stuff. It was really hard. And of course, there was a lot of tent cities, and electricity only comes on for like a little bit and stuff. So that was really difficult. But when he stays in Christianville, when he's went with CORE, they have fencing and armed guards out front. So that place is a lot safer than when he went the first time, and they didn't have that yet. But Guatemala, if you look up Faith in Action, if you ever want to give money to an organization, Faith in Action, that's our friends Rocky and Michael, and they've got, and their kids have taken on a missionary with them. And so if you ever want to give to anyone, look them up. They're on Instagram, Faith in Action on Instagram, and they are just an amazing family. You'll love it. And I think one of her Instagram handles it's coffee. Is it Coffee with God? And they just do scripture and talk about Jesus. And let me see. Coffee with God 777. Coffee and then _with_God 777. And they do scriptures, and she just speaks the word. I mean, they are just absolutely amazing. I love it. I love going on a mission trip with them, because you can just feel, I mean, they must have a special place in God's heart, because you can just feel totally different around them. I think it's just absolutely amazing. When Ike hit Texas, we hunkered down, slow traffic and people running out of gas. I'd rather me and my family be secure in my home than be in a vehicle on the road. And see, I don't think a lot of people realize that either, because I mean, there was Arcadia. Oh my goodness. It was this, I almost put this on Local Mom. I should have. I was so busy. I absolutely forgot. But there was this little community, Arcadia, and DeSantis got them a tanker of gas in there. And he's like, I don't know where you live, but I know that my governor's brought me over a tank of gas, and that gets my vote. I've been a Democrat my whole life, and I am changing. I am voting for that man again. And I was just like, yes, oh my God, yes. He's like, he says it and he does it. And, that's the one thing you have to worry about, because like Lacombe Dad got gas early. We've played this game before. This isn't our first rodeo. So he had already gotten gas, but I know by the time that afternoon, and it was going to hit that night, people were all over like the Nextdoor app and on Facebook, where have y'all found gas? Oh my gosh. And, people are like Claremont, which is a good, with traffic and especially people looking for gas, it's a good 30 minutes from me, at least maybe 45 because of traffic. And I'm like, goodness gracious, I am. So you saw him, wasn't he great? I loved it. He's like, he's getting my boat. So it's quite a drive, but everybody panics. Of course, you can't find water. You can't. And it's like, y'all don't drink water. You don't drink water. What are you doing buying water now? You do not drink water. You don't. Most people do not drink water. It's so funny. I do. Lacombe Dad doesn't. I drink a lot of water, and then I put coffee grounds in it and make coffee, and So I drink a lot of water. But it's so interesting when something hits. I mean, all the store shelves go empty, all the, and it's just I try to keep stuff like that in stock anyway. If I have so I do Sam's Club, and my big old Hellman's or Duke mayonnaise, they're big, they're huge containers. And if I've got three, and when I get to my second one, I order three more. And so I always make sure I have plenty of stuff on hand like that. So if I get to the end, before I even get to the end, I go ahead and order more, and I have it on hand, flour and sugar, all that. I have it on hand. We have some food grade buckets, and so we keep all of that. I can't imagine running out, or the freezer being too full and not being able to use it or whatever it is. And so I really do try to keep those staples anyway. And I'm like, gosh, guys, you really need to, y'all gonna be eating spam. I'm telling you, you're gonna be eating it and you're gonna be liking it too. And of course I can go out to the house and I can get me an egg. So I don't know. I just always do that stuff. So it's funny to me when the shelves are all empty and everything. And it's like, y'all gotta stop buying everything up, or the alcohol, like you can see their carts full of beer. Like I was in Sam's Club, and there was like one family had like 4 cases of beer, and there was a bunch of wine in there. And I'm like, y'all gonna have a party. I even asked one of them, I was like, where's the party at? They're like, it's the hurricane party. So it's funny what everybody will buy, but nobody ever buys that shrimp ramen noodles, or clam chowder, canned clam chowder. It's always left on the shelves. Does anybody even eat that shrimp ramen noodles? Ugh, I couldn't imagine. So, local dad and I have done tons of Bible studies and tons of marriage. We facilitated marriage studies and stuff. And we do the booklets, and then we also did the I think it's a home builder series. It's like super, super awesome. My handy dandy bookcase right here. Oh, that's not it. It's another marriage series, and we've done tons of those. So in them, sometimes there's like little theme stuff, like it'll tell you to bring this or that because it wants you to equate scripture with taste and hearing and your sensories. And one of them was like something international that was different. So I love going to World Market, and they have a huge international, they've got waters and beers and syrups, but it's from all over the world. You can get something from, like, my father-in-law used to go there and get him beer from all over the world. Like I get him a 6-pack of all these different beers, and the candies and chocolates. So I thought I was going to be smarty pants. There's like a whole Asian section, and there are these shrimp chips. And I thought, okay, we can try something new. Y'all, when I opened that bag, I thought I was going to fall on the floor, and I had to seal it back up real fast. And then when everybody got there, then I opened it and put it out, and everybody's like, oh my God, what's that smell? Oh, it smelled horrible. I did not try it. There was no way I was going to try those. No. If it smells bad, I ain't eating it. I am not like Willy Wonka and I hold my nose. Oh, it's blueberry. No, I am not doing that. So it was so funny. So we all brought a little something. Someone brought matzo ball soup. I forget what all we had that night, but that was a fun night too. And we've done tons of marriage studies. Oh my goodness. The home builders, I think it's home builders. They have like several different series. And then of course, 5 love languages. We've probably facilitated that 5 or 6 times now. And then I've done Be a Mary in a Martha World by Joanna Weaver. I actually got to blog for Joanna Weaver, guest blog for her on her website. I've done that study several times now. That I love it. That is if you've never done that study, that is such a good study. And then another really great study for women is Beth Moore's David. And it's awesome because like she has a way, and it's a great study. I mean, it'll take you a month or so to do it, or maybe a little more. And it's so funny. I fell in love with David and then I hated him and I fell in love with him. And I'm like, oh my goodness. It was a really in-depth study. Are you starving to death? You're starving, aren't you, baby? I'm so sorry. She loves her nose kissed. Let's see. I like Spam. Yes, cooked. Ooh, I couldn't imagine eating it cold. No, 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 no. I make homemade Spam and can it. Oh, yay. That's really awesome. Yeah, the matzo ball soup was really delicious. I was like, oh, that's good. I was going to so Spam. And then my favorite thing when I was little, because when I was little, we didn't get extras. We didn't go out to eat. I didn't even know there was restaurants out to eat. I had no idea. And when I would have a field trip, there was a couple of things they bought for me that, and field trip is what, maybe once or twice in the school year. But I just remember the Astro Pops, the lollipop that was different colors and really super hard. So like I loved it because it would last like all day, and I always got one of those. And then my favorite sandwich to take was what is it called? It's the ham salad, but it's in a little can like this. Oh my gosh, it's called something. But I made some of my own and it was absolutely, it was like there's a name of it. I can't even think of it. Now I hate Vienna sausages. I'm not a big hot dog person anyway. And I know they're not hot dogs. Deviled ham. That's it. Thank y'all. Oh, I couldn't think of it. Deviled ham. That's it. So I would love a deviled ham sandwich. And I made some a couple years ago. It was delicious. I had some leftover ham from Easter. Oh my goodness, it was so good. But yes, I loved it. So that would be my little treat, my sandwich. And then I would get a soda. So like, the Fagos, you could buy them singly. I would get a soda. And I think it was Fago, right? And I love strawberries. So I get strawberry Fagos. And then the Vienna sausages. So when Emma was dying last year, she wouldn't eat anything. And I was making her food for like the last month of her life because she wasn't eating her dog food at all. And she was getting skinnier and skinnier. So I started doing the chicken and rice and, with extra chicken broth and stuff. And she was eating it. But then about a week before she passed away, she stopped even eating that. And so, we bought a can of Vienna sausages just to try it, and she would eat them. She'd eat like 5 of them. And the night before she died, she hadn't eaten anything all day. She didn't want nothing. And I sat down with the Vienna sausages and sat there petting her, and she ate 2. And Logholm Dad says she only ate them because I was sitting there feeding them to her. Like she felt obligation to me or something. It was really super sweet. And that was all I could do because I do not like the smell of Vienna sausage, but I love that dog. I don't like the smell of them. I don't like the taste of them. Nope. No. I don't know why. I've just never liked them. And so, but I had to feed them to her for the last, but I liked her. So I withstood it. But, and then what else was there? There was other stuff too, like tuna. I cannot eat canned tuna. When I was pregnant. So when I was pregnant with my oldest, I gained a ton of weight and I didn't even know it. I had no idea. I gained over 70 pounds and I didn't know it. The doctor never said anything to me. I was young and, we didn't have internet and all that stuff. I just thought I was eating for 2. And then I literally thought as soon as I have the baby, the weight's going to drop off. I absolutely thought that. I was 18 when I got pregnant and 19 when I had her. And, I remember coming home from the hospital and I sat down in my bed and I went to put my pants on and they wouldn't get past my knees. And I just sat there crying. And so with my second one, I'm like, I am not gaining all that weight. And I would eat tuna fish sandwiches almost every day for lunch, which now I heard somebody say not long ago that it's not good for you. Well, my kid's fine. But I gained like 7 pounds, probably. I mean, I was all baby. And I come home and wore my clothes. So I was so careful with her because I knew that I would end up gaining a ton of weight. And one of my favorite meals when I was pregnant with her, and now I can't eat tuna. I cannot eat tuna. I can't eat tuna. One of my favorite meals was pregnant with her. Y'all are going to think this is super weird. So Whoppers. So I would go and get a veggie Whopper, so no meat, but extra everything. So it was cheese and then extra lettuce, and I loved them. Loved them. And that's what I would get. If I went to the doctor's office and I hadn't gained much weight, I would go get me a veggie Whopper, extra everything, extra all, and then I would get a shake. And so that was my little treat after my doctor's appointment if I had a good doctor's appointment. So I would just treat myself a little bit. But other than that, I would eat salads, tuna fish, whatever. I'm like, I am not gaining 70 pounds again. That was my biggest fear because I just had no idea. And I ate up until I had my first daughter. It was Easter Sunday. I was in labor or Mother's Day. I'm sorry. Mother's Day, I was in labor all Mother's Day. I was in labor 36 and a half hours, had her the day after Mother's Day. And my mother-in-law had a dinner and there was ham and potato salad. I ate and ate and ate and ate. I literally ate so much because I was in so much pain and eating was the only thing I could do. And so that, I gained a ton of weight though. I had no idea. I really didn't have any idea that would happen. Nobody ever said anything. They didn't even like really tell you what you weighed or anything when you went in, and you didn't have scales at home and stuff back then. So when I got on the scale after I had her, I weighed 219 pounds and I was just heartbroken. I couldn't believe it because I never knew that. And the only time you ever weighed yourself was when you went to Publix and jumped on their big grocery store scale. We didn't, like I said, we didn't have the scales at home and you didn't go to the doctor the way you do now and all the stuff. So I was just like, oh my goodness. And then with my youngest, it was super sweet. They actually, after I had the baby, I had her at another hospital, and they were just amazing. Like you had little suites. Your room, your delivery room was like a big recliner. And then when you went to deliver, the bottom pulled out and had stirrups and stuff, but you had a TV, you had entertainment center. I mean, it was like this big suite. And then when they moved me, I had like a bed, like my bed, and then like a regular bed, like a sofa bed pull out. And then that night after I had her, they invited us, me and my husband, to this little room, and they had a candlelight steak dinner sitting there waiting for us. It was just, and then when they gave us a big old fruit basket to go home with. And so I thought that was the sweetest thing because they didn't do any of that when I had my first one. And I just thought that was the sweetest thing ever. I was so excited that we went to this little hospital. And when we had her, they rang bells through the hospital and stuff. So it was really neat. All right, guys. Well, I have been on here long enough. I better feed these babies because they're going to get hangry with me. Although Ellie's such a good girl. She's been laying at my feet the whole time. She's such a sweetheart. Right, Ellie? Right, Ellie? Come here. Say hi. Come here. Say hi. Oh, dear Ellie. She's getting a haircut next week. She's going. Oh, and then jealous Daisy. So, all right. Well, I better get going. I think Log Home Dad's on his way home. So I hope y'all have an amazing evening. And thanks for hanging out with me. And I hope you try some avocado. If you do, send me pictures. Let me know. That must be Log Home Dad. All right. Bye, y'all.